Hey, welcome to Broken World Entertainment, and here comes a crazy story regarding the upcoming Batman and who should play him, because just like clockwork, the guy coming out to campaign for the role is of course a black actor. Yes, of course it is, and it's none other than Black Panther's Winston Duke, and he wants to be Batman in Brave and the Bold. Shocker, especially his reasoning behind it. So we're going to have a look at this. Now, I will say I do like Winston Duke, but is he Batman? No, of course he's not Batman. Why? Well, there's a very simple reason why. Batman's white, and that's going to piss people off, but you know what? Get over it, because that's just the facts. Batman and Bruce Wayne are a white, straight male. End of discussion. Have your hissy fits all you want on Twitter. Write what you want. Cry to mama. Nobody cares. That is what it is. Because you know these people would be going batshit crazy if we turned around and said, yeah, it's about time Black Panther is a white guy. Because you know they would push back. They would probably try and say, oh yeah, like anyone should be able to play anyone, until that actually happens, and then you would see them lose their mind. But let's have a look at this anyway. So Winston Duke emerged as one of the standouts of both Black Panther movies, thanks to his memorable take on M'Baku, and by all accounts the actor is also a major highlight of The Fall Guy. Duke has yet to establish himself as a Hollywood leading man, but all it takes is the right role, and the actor has set his sights on what will likely be the most sought after part in Hollywood down the line. During an interview with Slash Film, Duke was asked about the possibility of suiting up as the Dark Knight in the upcoming DC Batman reboot, The Brave and the Bold. Yeah, it'd be a very dark night if he gets the role, eh? After previously voicing Bruce Wayne in the Batman Unburied podcast, and he said this: "Listen man, can you start that campaign? I would say I challenge you to get on all these socials and push for me. Get your community. I would love to do that as Batman. I'd love any opportunity to explore new characters, and here we go, to change narratives around some of these entrenched ideas of how these characters are supposed to look, sound, and perform. I'm all for that." So we're sure Duke won't be the last actor to campaign for this role, but it's probably going to be quite a while before DC Studios begins the casting process. So why does he want to do it? Why is he so desperate to be Batman? Because he wants to change the narrative. That's right, he wants to be able to go, ha, Batman's now a black guy. That's it. That's the only true reason. You notice he didn't say anything about how much he loves the character of Batman and Bruce Wayne, how much he loves the stories, how much Gotham City envelops the idea of Batman taking down the corruption, taking down the crime, everything like that. No, he goes straight for the I want to change the narrative and get rid of the idea that Batman can only be a white guy. Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. And the irony of this is, now that he's put his name for, James Gunn is probably going to actually have a look and talk with him. I have no doubt about that he will end up having a chat with him and saying, like, you know what, I can see you being Batman. And then he'll probably give him some other role. It's just, I'm sick of hearing this type of crap. Again, why does it only go one direction and never the opposite direction? You know what I mean? Hey, it's about time. Hey, it's about time M'Baku is an Asian dude. No, he would lose his mind over that. Especially if you turn around and said, hey, we just want to change the narrative. Like, come on, man. At the end of the day, if you make that type of change to Batman, it is no longer Batman. End of story. It doesn't matter whether you play him a completely different way, change his story, whatever. That version of Bruce Wayne, a black Bruce Wayne / Batman, is not Bruce Wayne or Batman. You change James Bond to be a black man or a woman or bisexual. That's no longer James Bond. If you change T'Challa to be a white guy or a woman or a trans or anything like that, that's no longer T'Challa. That's no longer Black Panther. You change Tony Stark to being from the white guy to the black guy or something. It's no longer Tony Stark. End of story. That is the thing these people need to finally understand. These are who the characters are. That's who the character was written as. That is who they've always been. You don't just get to go in and because you want to change a narrative, get to walk in and go, I get to be that character now. No, you can by all means come in and be a different version of a Batman, but you're not going to be Batman. You know, sort of on the lines of Azrael or Nightwing or something like that. You can absolutely come in and be a newer version of something with that type of title on you. But Batman? No, you can never be Batman because we know who Batman is. Because when these people talk about I want to be Batman, they're not saying I want to be a different version of Batman. They are I want to be Bruce Wayne. I want to be that version. But with my skin tone on it, or my belief system, or my sexuality on it. That is no longer then the character. You're not going to walk in and change a gay character to be straight all of a sudden. No, could you imagine the absolute backlash to that if that was to happen? Especially if the person who takes the role turns around and goes, hey, I'm just here to change the narrative. Because again, he says nothing about loving the character of Batman. I mean, why does he want to be Batman? I'd love to do this as Batman. I'd love the opportunity to explore new characters, to change narratives around some of these entrenched ideas of how these characters are supposed to look, sound, and perform. Where is it I love Batman? I grew up reading the comics. I grew up with this. I collected all the figures. I have all the comics. I have all the movies. I have the comic books in long boxes over my corner. I have the games over there. I got posters on my wall. I grew up dressed like Batman for Halloween. No, none of that. Simply, I want to make Batman black just to say, screw you, Whitey. That is literally what we're hearing. And again, I like Winston Duke. He was great in Black Panther. It says he was a standout in both Black Panthers. No, he was not a standout in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Because that movie sucked and everyone in it pretty much sucked. And he had one of the dumbest fight scenes in that movie. You remember when the water guy jumped out at him and his way to defeat him was to throw him back into the water where he lives. Yeah, way go, M'Baku. And then they had him pound on his chest like he was King Kong for some reason. A lot of mixed signals about that moment. But I'm sorry, Winston, and to anyone else that's black, gay, whatever. These characters, you have your own characters that you can portray. Changing the identity of Batman, Bruce Wayne, from a straight white male to a black male to an Asian male to a woman to this, to that, whatever. It's no longer Batman. And that's just the way it is. Sorry, but that is the way it is. So, come up with either new characters or just take on a black character that already exists. There's loads of them. Why do you always have to go for the main one that's known? It's just annoying at this stage. But don't worry, Winston, because by the time they have a talk with you about actually portraying Batman, the comic book movie genre will probably be dead and buried. Because if this Superman movie fails, or even comes out with mixed reactions, it's done. You know, pull the plug, man. Take it off life support. DC will be done. Put it to bed for at least 10 years before you bring it back out. And Marvel should have gone away after Endgame, to be fair. It really should have. They should only be now talking about what their plans are moving forward. for the next Marvel movie. They should never have continued. They should have taken the break and they didn't, which is a massive mistake. But there you go. As I said, like clockwork, the black guy comes out and wants to be Batman and is making it known, which means the way Hollywood is nowadays, he'll probably get the role. Oh jeez. But anyway, with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So like, share, subscribe. Cheers. I'll catch you in the next one.
I'm Batman.